Hey guys, in today's video we are checking out a GTRS guitar. That's this guy right here on the wall behind me. Now it looks just like a normal guitar, 2 single coils and a humbucker. But what's crazy about this guitar is that it has this knob right here, the super knob, and when you turn it on, it has guitar amps, effects, pedals, cabinets, everything in the guitar.
They're in the computer?
So you don't even need an amp modeler anymore. You don't need an amp. You don't need an amp modeler. You could literally use just this guitar at a gig with no pedals, although it does come with this Bluetooth foot switch that you can use to control it as well. I've been gigging with this guitar exclusively for the last couple of weeks, and it's really blown my mind how crazy awesome this is. I've really liked this guitar a lot. And it's really crazy to have all of your effects built into the guitar. And it makes sense that this would be the next step. We've gone from amps into amp modelers. This is the next step that I don't even need those anymore. Really nuts. So we're going to check it out. I'm going to go over how, it works, the setup, going over the app, because you program different presets with the app and you can save different presets. You can change the type of pickup so the emulation of the guitar pickup is different as well. Many thanks to the GTRS for sending me this guitar. It's not a paid video. They just sent it to me. I've been gigging with it nonstop these last couple of weeks and I love this guitar. So I'm going to see if this is right for you, if it's something that you're interested in. There will be links down below in the description if you are interested in checking it out yourself. So before we get started, I post videos like this all the time, stuff on wireless, in-ear monitors, gear reviews, MIDI programming, finding cheap stuff for musicians on Amazon, cool gear like this, stuff like that. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to ring the bell to be notified when I put out new videos. And if you find this content helpful, hitting the like button is a free way to support the channel, so I would appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so with this review, I'm mostly going to be covering just the super knob. So I'm going to post the specs on the screen right now so you can see, what the guitar is. To me, if you are interested in this type of guitar, you're interested in using it as the amp modeler and all the effects that are built into it. You can actually use this just as a regular guitar as well without the super knob, without all the effects. It still works as a normal guitar. It's cool that you have the option of using it as a regular guitar or with all this amp modeling. So very cool that they did this. All right, so here we are at the guitar. So again, I have it just set, you can set it just up to a regular guitar, but I'm going to turn on the super knob. You can see that it starts flashing and now it's ready to go. And you'll see when I push the button, it's going to change to a different color. So it's like a pinkish color, an orange color, a light blue, and then kind of a dark blue. So I have these already kind of set up. So here's like a clean tone. So, I'm not using any amps or anything. This is all coming out of the guitar. Then I have more of kind of an overdrive. And then I have the next one's more distortion, more of a rock. Again, these are just kind of my tones. And then here's kind of a lead one. This is kind of the way that I have it set up right here. But again, I can change those right here. Or what's really cool is with this pedal. So I turn it on, you can see, watch when I switch between the buttons. So here's a clean tone, overdrive, distortion, and lead. You can see it's changing on there. So this thing is wirelessly paired to the guitar, which is really crazy. So what we're going to do is we're going to load the GTRS app. And what you're going to do is you're going to connect to it. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's actually a QR code on the back of your guitar that you're going to connect in order to pair them with each other. But, I'm just going to, turn on Bluetooth, and then I already have it set up. Just follow the directions. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and go into the app. So I'm just going to kind of show you just the way around the app. The first thing I recommend doing actually is just going to the menu or to the folder button right there. And let's just go through, I'm going to go to, so they have a couple of different ones in here, but so this is like one of the presets that came with it. So this is, an 80s solo type thing. I can't remember how that solo goes, but so what you have is you have all these different, genres in here. So you can go to pop and pop solo. And here's a dream. So it's kind of got kind of, some effects and stuff on that one. Emotional solo. favorite type of tone, but you know, it's not bad. Go to blues, 12-bar blues. Warm blues solo. You know, some of them are great, some of them suck. Just depends. It's more of a funk one. More of a rock, AC/DC. Not great. But, you know, whatever. You know, they got based off of just a couple. Let's do more of a jazz tone. Here's some metal type stuff. Now I have the pickup set to Telecaster, so metal probably isn't going to sound the greatest on Telecaster, but I'm just showing you that you have all these different options on different tones that you can get just right off the bat. Just kind of just mess around with some of the presets. I'm going to show you how to customize it even deeper here in a minute. Okay, then hitting this GTRS button right here takes you back to the main menu. So that was the folder menu. And you do have your presets up here if you want. And then you can save it. So say if I really liked that one, I would hit this save button right here, and I would choose which patch I would want to save it under, and then I would hit save. I'm not going to save it though. And you get 4 different groups and 10 different presets, so 40 different presets altogether. So you have 0, A through D, all the way up to 9, A through D. And then this icon right here with the faders, this is where you get to control the volume and stuff like that, so I can turn the guitar down. Turn it up. Here's the main output. So I can turn that down too. I'm going to leave that back at 0. Basically at 0. You do have a USB out here, which is crazy. So you can actually, you know, because this thing, it charges over USB. So does the pedal that charges over USB-C. But you can also just plug right into your computer and use it as USB interface. So you don't need any amps, any pedals, or an interface or anything, and you can just record your guitar direct using the USB out, and you can control the volume of that here. Really crazy, really awesome. The settings button right here, I'm gonna get to here in a little bit. I don't think that'll be a little bit later. The wrench right here is where most of your work is going to come from. So first of all, right here, you can change the switch, and you can see as I move my switch, it'll change through it. On switch 5, I have that set to a Tele. The next one I have it set to a Shure Classic. Next one to a Tele, and then a Classic. But I mean, you have different options in here of different types of pickups you can put on this, which is really nuts. So I can change this. So instead of the 5th one being a Tele, I'm gonna set it to an original. This. Slightly different sound. It's kind of a Les Paul type sound. It's kind of like an acoustic guitar. There's a Strat. I'm doing these all on clean just to make it a little bit easier to hear. JP. I mean, you have so many different types of tones that you can get just by changing the switch. So I could have this one set to be the like John Petrucci type one. This one set to the Shure Classic. This one set to a Tele. Really nuts. So the 5-way switch, you can set it to whatever you'd like here. Now, when you push the super knob button, this is where you really get into the programming of it. So let me just go to the clean. So you have your dynamics right here. So with that, you get a noise gate, a compressor, touch wah or auto wah. You have your amp right here, and you have so many different options in here. I mean, just look at all of these. Low gain or high gain, different ones. You have a boost in here, and you can have this set to be just kind of a regular, just kind of a clean boost. An overdrive, and you have different options in here, or more of a fuzz and distortion type of sound. You have different cabinets right here. This preset, just the way that it sounded better, in my opinion, was to put the boost in between the two, which normally isn't. But you can drag these in whatever order you would like, which is really nice. You have your modulation effects right here. So now here's a phaser, tremolo, stutter, vibrato, pitch shift, rotary, chorus, ring modulator. You have your delays, digital, analog, tape delay, mod. I mean, you have so many different options in here. So let me just go ahead and just kind of mess with some of these. So this is, again, kind of what I settled on for clean. So for the amp, I liked this one, whatever that's based off of, I don't really know. I messed with a couple of them, so this is based on Deluxe. You know, so there's a little too much gain on that for a clean tone that I want. Turn the master volume up. I'm gonna turn a little bit of reverb on. That's too little. Spring reverb, let me change that to modulation reverb or room reverb. Turn the level up more and the decay more. I'm going to do a delay, so let's do a digital delay. Less. Say I don't like that delay, I want more of an analog, which I usually like. Let's mess with some of the modulation. Here's a phaser. Not really a phaser guy. Cool flanger, stutter. Speed, tone. Let's do 100%. See, you know, I'm not going to go through every single one of these. You can see what you have in here. And then, of course, you get a noise gated compressor, auto wah. Oh, it's not enabled. All sorts of different stuff in here. The main things that you're going to want to change through are obviously your amps. Here's a triple rectifier clean. It's pretty nice though. Actually kind of like that one. Maybe I'll switch to that one instead. The one that I settled on as I was programming this was this one. Yeah, now I'm hearing it. I really like that triple. Just enough of a breakup. You can turn the gain down a little bit and the master up. You know, you get your standard mess around with stuff in here. Where you really want to get your tones in is with the cab. So I'm going to set this one, let's do the EV one. I mean, that already changes the tone quite a bit. You can hear how many different changes you get out of all of this. So, I mean, you can see how much stuff you can do with this. Let me just go to like my lead patch right here. I kind of butchered that solo, but you get the idea. Changing the cab is really going to give you so many different... That's definitely a different type of tone. That's the type of tone I don't like. If I was on like, you know, drop R, that would sound really good. So, I mean, but you get to see all the different things that you can do. And again, it's all built into the guitar. It's so crazy. So you have so many different options. I mean, it's just almost unlimited, the things that you can do here. So then you also want to create, you know, an account. You go up here and you create an account. You can actually back up your guitar. So if I hit backup, upload all the content to the cloud. Here's different patches. What you can do is I can actually upload this patch if I want. So it's a lead. So what type is this? So it's a high gain. Hit OK. And now it's uploaded. So now when I go to my account, this is one of the patches that I have uploaded into the cloud. And you can also see which ones you've downloaded. You can click this button right here, and you can see different ones that other people have uploaded. So say if I want like a high gain one, so here's, you can see there's the one that I just uploaded. But what about like this one? I don't know what this one is. I'm going to hit try. It's loading. And if I like that tone, I could hit the download button. It gives you the information. Hit download. And I can say where would I like to save it. So I'm just going to save it in just one that doesn't really matter. I'm going to hit OK. And then it's downloaded that patch. So let's go to another high gain one. Let's try This one kind of has that type of tone to it, but you have a cloud that you can upload your stuff to or download other people's patches to, and you can also, again, always access, these are the downloads that you've said that you liked, these are the works that you have uploaded, and you can also back up your stuff. Pretty cool. By the time this video is out, I'll upload my 4 main patches, my clean, overdrive, distortion, and lead. If you do want to use them, I have them set with a telly for the pickup switch personally, but I mean, mess around with it so you can get something good out of it. But yeah, those are the main ways that you use this. So the settings button right here, which I haven't told you, so you have your global settings right here. So you can set the output mode right here. So I'm going into an interface/mixer. If you are going into a power amp or just headphones, because you can just use this as the ultimate practice device and just practice, you know, without any amps or anything else, and just plug headphones into the output jack. And that's a really cool way of using this. You have a global EQ as well. So if you do want to, you know, scoop out, you know, some of the lows. Oh, it's not on, that's why. So you can see that scooped out quite a bit of that low end, but I usually leave that off. I kind of just... Input gain, you can set how much input gain you're getting, or less. I usually just leave that at 0. And then a super knob mode, so you can say preset select or guitar simulation switch. So when you push the super knob, do you want it to switch tones like this, or do you want it to change presets? I think most of you are going to want to have it on preset. Going back, you do have a tuner in here, so obviously, you know, you can get it exactly right. You can also mute it while you're tuning if you want, so that no one can hear you, which is really nice. Something also that's really cool is you can actually get to that by holding the button right here. So when you hold the button, it'll do that. And then actually as you, let me see if you can see this. So this is for my A, and you can see that it needs to go down just a little bit. And then when it says the 0, that means it's in tune. You have a drum machine in here, which I don't really mess with that too much. You have a chord chart in here as well, in case if you need to look up chords, good learning thing. Mixer, you've already seen that already. You do have a looper in here as well, so you can mess with the looper. So worst loop ever, but you have that in here if you'd like. Standby mode, you can set when does it go into standby mode. I have it just in 5 minutes. You can rename it if you want in here, set the language, and then you can also update the firmware if you need to, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically your way around the app. Okay, so with the foot switch, I mean, it's pretty basic. So you can see that it actually switches. So you can see when I push the button here, it changes. So here's my clean, here's my overdrive, here's my distortion, and here's my lead. Now you can scroll up or down to different ones. If you push these 2, you'll start scrolling down. Pushing these, you'll start scrolling up. So if I want to get to, you know, here's 1C, 1D, here's 2D, or 2A, 2B. You know, you can scroll through the different patches like that. So on your guitar, you know, you only get to go through 4 different buttons. So A, B, C, and D. But here's how you switch to, so here's, you know, now I'm in number 9. So now I can scroll through them this way as well. Now I'm on C. Now I'm on D. And so on and so forth. You push these 2 buttons together and you get into the looper, and it does an automatic loop. So, you know, you get play, stop, and then here's turning on the drums. I wish they didn't do that, because the first time I used this, it actually went into this mode. I had no idea how I got in there, and I pushed, you know, record. And, you know, I had some weird chord progression going, and I could not figure out how to get out of it. So this was record. If you need to trash it, this is the way to trash it. And then push the 2 buttons again to get out of it. So if you ever do get into looper mode and you record a loop, hold this button to delete it, and then hold these 2 buttons to get out of it. Okay, so as far as pricing, I personally thought this would cost like over $1,000. It's actually, as of this video, it's about $650. That is not bad at all. I mean, my HX Stomp, you know, which has just my effect box, is about $600. I love that thing. And my Helix, you know, is $1,500. This, you get the guitar, all the effects built in, it's $650, which is, I think, an insane deal for this type of guitar. So they do offer the S800 versus the S801. I tried looking up the differences. I can't really see a difference. I see that there's different color options. There's more color options than the 800. I ended up going with the gold, and the 801 has less. The only thing I've noticed is that the fretboard type is different. That's the only thing I noticed that was different. So the 800 is rosewood and the 801 is maple. That seems to be the only difference. Every other spec is literally the same. With that $650, you get the guitar, you get the gig bag that comes with it, which is nice. It actually has like a spot that holds and protects the neck, which is really nice. It comes with a whammy as well. It comes with a couple of Allen wrenches, a little bag to carry some of your stuff in, USB cable, and basically everything that you need for it. The only thing extra is the Footswitch, and this is about $60. Just get it. I mean, I'm just going to say just get it. You always have the option of changing on the guitar itself. It's wireless anyways, so you might as well have it. Just 100% I would get it. Links to both of them are down in the description. And again, using those links doesn't cost you anything, but is a free way to support the channel, so I would appreciate it if you do end up deciding to get this. And I don't think you'll be disappointed if you do. Okay, so who can benefit from this? Who's this really targeted for? Just some ideas of why you might want something like this. As someone who uses amp modelers like me, and a lot of people are starting to get into that world anyways, it's kind of a no-brainer to go to the next step and just have it all in the guitar, which is really crazy. I keep saying that, but it's really just wild. I hadn't seen anything like that before. But just go straight into our mixer now, and I don't have any cables on the stage because I don't even need my HX stomp when I gig with this. You can still use pedals with this, of course, if you would like to. You definitely can. For someone like me who's obsessed with a clean stage, this is a dream come true for me. I mean, I'm so obsessed with it. When I gig with my HX stomp, oftentimes I go wireless into the HX stomp and then wireless out to the mixer. So I have two wireless. And even sometimes I will use a portable power supply. I have a video about how I do this, but a portable power supply to the HX stomp. So I have no power and no cables running to it directly. That's how obsessed I am with having a clean stage. Anyone who wants to use this for a practice instrument, this is awesome, especially if you have, like, if you're in an apartment, you can't play loud amps or something like that. You have to get, an amp modeler or something like that and then plug in headphones. This, again, you can just skip the amp modeling altogether, just plug in headphones to the guitar, and change your output setting to say that you're going to headphones, and you can just practice with just your guitar and a pair of headphones. You need nothing else. For a travel guitar, I mean, this is a no-brainer for me. For anytime I travel for a gig, I don't have to bring anything else. I can just bring just my guitar. So I have a video about my compact travel rig, so it's already super small, and that carries all my stuff, so I don't have to check anything. What I had was already compact, but this just takes it to a whole nother level. So for a travel instrument, that's really cool. This is just like the ultimate backup guitar. So I always bring a backup guitar. Well, not always. I've kind of lazy with that, but I almost always bring a backup amp. So I almost always gig with the HX Stomp. I do have a backup rig of my, it's just, an iPhone and an iRig. So if I need to go direct, I can do that. So I have a backup guitar. I have a backup amp modeler setup. Now I have just both, just in one. So even if I don't gig with this guitar as my main one, just having it as a backup, I don't need an amp with it. So now I have a backup guitar with an amp all ready to go in one package. It's the ultimate backup guitar, which I really like. All right, pros and cons. So pros, I mean, this whole video basically was covering all the pros, so there's just so much that you get in one package with this guitar. I've basically covered all of the pros going over this thing. So I might as well just go over some of the cons that I found. So the Footswitch is, it's Bluetooth, so it's not always going to be connected. Bluetooth isn't the most stable connection. And I have had it happen a few times where I went to push it. I could have just not pushed hard enough. That might have been it. I've never had it just completely die on me or anything like that. Just realize, that it's not 100% the most stable connection. Just keep that in mind. But in my opinion, that's not a bad problem because I've been teaching myself to, push next if I need to go to the next one. So if I'm going from like clean to overdrive, I do it on the guitar, not on the pedal, and then I go back to clean. As far as the pitch shifter sucks. The pitch shifter is basically useless in this. So I sometimes will have to play fake bass. I thought I could get a good tone out of it, and I tried, and I mean, it just does not track well. I mean, it sounds bad. So the pitch shifting is quite awful on that. And there is a slight delay when you change patches. So you'll hear it when you push the button. There's a tiny bit of a delay before it switches to the next preset. You adapt to that pretty quickly. Some people, that's a deal breaker. To me, it's definitely not. It's not a bad problem, but it might be something that you run into. The guitar does feel a tiny bit cheaper, I guess I would say. And that might be, kind of with the pricing and how much stuff is all compact into this guitar. It does feel a little bit cheaper, I would say, but at the same time, I don't know if that's just me being a Les Paul guy trying to play this, more Strat Telly type of guitar. I'm not a whammy guy. I'm not a floating bridge guy. I'm actually going to get it set up so that I don't have a floating bridge on it anymore. Even with those things, it's so amazing. I'm going to continue to use it. Overall, I love this thing. This guitar is definitely going to be one of my main guitars that I start using. I'm bringing them to my gig tomorrow. I'm going to continue using this for sure. I really like it. If they make a Les Paul version of this, I'm getting it 100%. No questions. I'm for sure getting a Les Paul version. Even as a Les Paul guy, I still really like this guitar and I'm going to continue to use it. I'm really excited to see what this company does in the future. And I'm incredibly thankful that they sent this to me to check out for the channel. I love the guitar and I'm going to continue to use it. So thank you guys. So that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, just do me a favor, hit the like button. It does a ton to help out the YouTube algorithm, feed the YouTube algorithm gods, recommend the video, recommend my channel, and it really does help. I know YouTubers hate asking for it, including myself, but it really does help, so I would appreciate it. Again, purchase links are down in the description down below. They are Amazon affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it is a free way to support the channel at no extra cost to you. If you guys have any other cool gear like this, I'm always interested in gear like this that kind of, pushes the envelope a little bit or does something different or makes my life easier as a full-time musician. It's innovative, it's cool, it's unique. And it makes my life easier. That's stuff I'm always interested in checking out. So if you guys know any other gear like that, leave a comment down below. I'm always curious to check out stuff like that. Check out some of my other videos about some of my other reviews. Check out some of my wireless that I reviewed or some in-ear monitors that I've reviewed as well by clicking some of the links on the screen now. Don't forget to follow me on my social media pages at Scott Ewell Music on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.